In this next video, we are going to be talking all about the design settings. This is where you should start when you go in to begin customizing your template and making it your own. So we're going to navigate just under site settings where we left off in the last video and click on design settings under the site tab. When we open up the design settings, this is where you will see all of the fonts and colors that make up the branding of this template, and this is where you will replace this content with your own. The reason that we set this up first and that we want to adjust our design settings before going in and starting to customize other areas of the template is that this is going to set all of your defaults. So once you've styled and you hit save, then everything in your template will automatically update based on the changes that you've made, and then you can go in on an individual level and tweak things as needed. But going in and starting with editing the design settings gives you a head start for all of your content. So you have your color palette here, as well as your fonts and how they are styled for both desktop on this side and mobile. You'll also see at the very top we have this fonts tab where you can upload your custom fonts. So going back to site style, we'll start here. You have 8 colors where you can upload your own colors for your brand or use the existing ones. Then you have your styling here. This is where we set the default color for your title, heading, subheading, and paragraph, and you can do that on both desktop and mobile. So once you've got your colors in there, then you'll hit save. Then you'll go back into design settings and click on the fonts tab. The reason I want you to save it first is because if you just click over to the fonts, sometimes it doesn't always save your colors. So just go ahead and put your colors in by clicking here, adding your hex code, saving it, and then we're going to go back to the fonts tab. Now you can use any of the fonts inside Google Fonts or the ones already included in the template because they are Google Fonts. You can view the entire Google font library by opening this up here. If your brand font happens to be a Google font, all you do is select it from the list here. You can see there's a million fonts to choose from. If you have custom brand fonts, you can upload a WOFF file, that's a WOFF file. You'll put that in the media library, and then once you do so, you'll be able to select it from this list here. So this is all the ones that we currently have in our library. WOFF files are definitely something that you need a license for. So you want to check to make sure that if, for example, you're using a font from Creative Market, that you have purchased the correct web license. So you'll upload to the media library, just verify that you have a license to use this font on your site. You'll check this box and then click on add custom font, and it'll add it to the active fonts over here on the side. In order to upload a WOFF file, you'll put it in your media library, and I will talk about uploading things to the media library in the next video. We'll hit save there once we're happy with our changes, and then go back to site style. And now we can begin to style our font. So depending on the size and the font that you choose, you may want to adjust things like the size of the font, the line height, if you want your headings and your subheadings to be default uppercase or default lowercase. So you can play around with these settings, just like in the last video where we talked about splitting the desktop and mobile. This is also true inside of the type style. If we start with heading, say we are happy with the sizing here, but we want the desktop to actually be a little bigger, you can see that the size is already split. If I need the line height to be adjusted, I'll click on these 3 dots over line height and then click on split mobile and desktop, and now I can adjust the line height so that it's different from the desktop to the mobile version. If we kind of want to make that a little bit smaller here, you can see it doesn't change the mobile. I click onto the mobile side, you can see mobile's highlighted, and I can scoot it down or expand it as needed. You can go through and apply these changes and style things for desktop and mobile independently on all of these. You'll just have to make sure that you're clicking those 3 little dots there. Once you're happy with the way your defaults are looking, you can go ahead and hit save, and any changes you've made, you'll see them start to populate across all the different pages of your site. And now you are ready to start customizing things on an individual level and adding your image.